Welcome back. We're here live at CES 2018. Of course, it's all about technology. And joining me right now is Mikhail from Luxoft, and you are really leading the way when it comes to technology as well. Tell us a little bit about your company.
So Luxoft is a solutions and software company that has 13,000 employees worldwide in 21 locations. We've been in business for 18 years and we're growing steadily. And this year at CES we're focusing a lot on automotive business.
And you're a very forward-looking company, never sitting still, and that's where it's kept you in the marketplace, hasn't it?
Yes, very much so. And again, taking automotive as, because it's my area of expertise in the company, I lead the technology and solution strategy of the company. It's an area where we see an explosive growth year over year. We've grown over 40% just in the last year in this area, and you can see some of the results of our collaborations here with companies like Daimler and others, and it's really cool to see the fruition of what we're doing here.
Now, the different projects that you're working on, I imagine you're providing different solutions to different vendors.
Yes, we are. So one example is that here at the CES, we introduced a software and hardware platform that we co-developed with Intel. It's a digital cockpit computer to address the next generation of future digital cockpits. So basically the interior of the entire car, and it's driving all the displays and all the sensors, all the cameras in the car. And it's something that we're now taking to the market with Intel and taking to our customers.
So you're really taking an intelligent car and making it even more intelligent, if that's possible.
Yes, we are.
And kind of leading the way in that as well.
Very much so. And this is an area where we see this type of collaboration with the tech vendors, and then taking that to the suppliers and the car OEMs, the car makers. That's a brilliant way of getting in very early in the technology development, and then taking our scale that we have in the business and enabling car companies basically to become software companies.
Well, you mentioned Daimler Chrysler, and I know firsthand that they're really proceeding down that line toward a more tech-savvy car, but a user-friendly interface.
Yes, very much so. And we're at the front and center of that. So we're working closely with them in co-developing concepts and also their products for the future.
Now, with the technology changing as it does, it changes rapidly every hour almost, you really have to stay on top of it to change with it, don't you?
Yes, and it's so important for us to work with, for example, tech vendors, again like Intel, and co-develop the foundation products of what the car makers are putting into the cars. So the silicon, the software, and then engaging with the suppliers of the car makers also. Companies like Delphi, Harman and others are companies that then supply these systems to the car makers. So we're working with all of them throughout the entire chain, and we have coined a kind of a catchphrase, which is pixel to silicon, and this is just to illustrate that we're really good at developing everything from silicon all the way up to user interfaces, user interaction models, and complete products for the car makers.
But you know, throughout that supply chain, as you mentioned, you're working with a lot of different people along the way.
Yep.
But it must be comforting to them to know that you have your finger on quality control each and every step of the way. They know that it's going to be consistent.
Yes, and that's key. And this model that we have, this pixel to silicon model, that enables us to really see early on what's happening with technology, the trends regarding silicon, the power of the silicon platform, software platforms, what the car makers want and expect, how the car makers are transforming again into software companies. And we as a large service provider, we can help them put software teams in place and help them transform their business to become more software-centric.
Well, Mikhail, I have to imagine that you're not working with just a vendor for next fall, but you're really looking down the road as well, maybe even 5 or even 10 years ahead.
Oh yes, very much so. Some of the products that we're co-developing with tech vendors right now are things that we know is not going into production in another 5 to maybe even more years.
Well, with that said right now, I know you have the attention of all of our viewers out there, because they are tech people who want all of this, not just at home or in the office, but on the road as well as they're in their vehicle. And what's the best way for them to learn more about your company and all your software?
Well, the good starting point is our website, the Luxoft website, luxoft.com. And there we show what we're doing, and we showcase some of our solutions and reference use cases. And we also tell some really good stories about success stories with customers.
Easy enough. Mikkel, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on.
Thank you. Cheers.